journaling time.
Hey, what is up,
Hi.
party people? Let me get them some
Yeah,
jams.
everyone.
What's up? Here, you take the mic.
Hi.
Talk.
I know it's so nice to be back. We've had some things going on. We'll share in a little bit, but yeah, it's just so nice to be back and really get back into the journaling game. So it's so good to see everyone.
Welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Gabby. I see we got Gabby in the house.
What is good, Gabby? Missed ya.
Hi.
Said missed you guys sending all the
Thank
hugs
you.
because you deserve the most. Yeah, appreciate it. Geeky Witch, woohoo!
Hi there.
There we go. Jessica, haven't been here in a while. Glad to be back.
Hi,
Nice.
Jessica.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
Now this one's gonna be a good one. I was excited to do this one a couple weeks ago, and we got ourselves on a little bit of a detour. But goal setting is super important, and I'm a pretty meticulous goal setter, and we have a bunch of goal setting programs in Journal Party. But Alex has been this is one of the Girl Alex programs. She's been doing an amazing job writing some really great prompts for us, and I love the way that she came at this one. It's a much more qualitative approach, whereas I'm like, goals need deadlines, and like that's great and all that, but
I don't do deadlines.
but I think you're gonna really like it. It's gonna this one's gonna feel good, which I know I need some good vibes, some good feelings. So appreciate y'all showing up. Welcome back. See, we got some more people joining us. We got LaFrancis Porter in here. Welcome back to the
there.
party. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for the warm welcome back. Can't believe it's
Deidre.
already been a couple of weeks.
I know, right? Time flies.
Hi there.
Hey, from Utah.
Nice.
Appreciate all of you being here.
Yeah.
Got okay, LaFrancis Porter's still here.
Yes.
The journal girl. All right, finally
Ooh,
making
I
it
love
to alive.
that.
Hey guys. All right.
Awesome.
Well, hello. Welcome. One of us.
Any way to get captions?
Captions. Well, I mean, we will have the prompts on the screen, but I don't know if there is a live captioning service that we have on here on this program. On YouTube, I don't know how fast their like AI captioning is, but you may be able to turn on closed captioning for that. But that's a good question. I'll have to look into
Yeah, we'll
accessibility
definitely look
stuff.
into it for next time. Thank you for bringing that up.
All right, we got Carla and
Hi,
Shelly
Carla.
here.
Hi,
What's good?
Shelly. Hello.
Kathy Poo's in the house. Hello. These must be emojis. Red face, red heart shape. Woo, just made it. Well,
Awesome.
welcome, Shanda. Shanda? I don't know. Awesome. Cool. Well, all right, folks. So, I just wanted to kind of address something, at the top here before we get started. So, the regulars will know that we've been on a couple weeks of hiatus, and I really wish I had better news for you guys. And I'm grateful that you guys gave us, a couple weeks to kind of get through this because, fortunately, we are in a place where I think we can talk about what's going on, and we're not going to totally crumble. Yeah, basically last Monday, we lost our fur baby. You folks who have been around know how much Bowie means to us. He's been our little co-pilot on this whole adventure. He's been, I would post him in social media and, call him our office manager and stuff like that. And, obviously he's not, coding and filing papers and things like that. But, he's been such an integral part of our lives and our relationship. And just this, I kept referring to him as just this vessel for us to pour our love into. And that's kind of how we've been sharing joy for like a lot of our relationships. So it was a really big loss. And, obviously he was adorable and just such a bright light. But, it was really came to a shock to us as well, because, we've been fighting his cancer or had been fighting his cancer for quite some time. I mean, actually, when we were leaving to get married was when his nose first started bleeding. And, it took several vet visits. And actually, eventually we got a CT scan that, told us that he had a pretty aggressive nasal tumor. And that was back in October. And they really only gave him a couple months. And we got really fortunate with some radiation therapy and some chemo that fought it off. And actually, we were so excited back in I remember it was Cinco de Mayo, and I was sitting up on the roof of an Airbnb that we were at and just really celebrating because his CT scan had come back clear of anything in the nasal cavity, which was like totally unheard of. And so we thought that we were, home free and everything like that. And actually, it was on a Journal Party Live. I don't know if you saw me get up and, doing stuff, but, he started showing some really disturbing symptoms. And, long story short, we were in and out of ERs until eventually they told us that we needed to see a neurologist, which confirmed that the cancer had come back and had invaded his brain. And so, it was very quick. He went from being, almost asymptomatic to just, there was severe neurological issues, and it was the days got very difficult very, very quickly. And, unfortunately, the prognosis was not very good. So, there was a potential, route with, him being on steroids where we could pursue additional radiation. But unfortunately, the damage was just overwhelming him. And so, we chose the compassionate approach to end his journey, as pain-free and as peacefully as possible. Fortunately, you can't see it right now. We're in a different Airbnb back in Los Angeles. It's beautiful here, and it was such a beautiful passing. So, I mean, obviously we're devastated and heartbroken, but this is a wonderful place for us to be doing our healing. And, we have had some space from it now. And I mean, for those of you who have experienced loss, that, it's tough, and grief comes and goes in waves. And, I'm just so grateful that, I know that I can share this sort of thing with this group and feel heard, and that you guys, for those of you who are kind of over the wall on this, we've been receiving some really, sweet and thoughtful messages from you guys and everything. And the support's been just amazing. So, look, we're devastated, but we're getting through it. And, just wanted to let everybody know, if you miss the sound of the tip taps and the squeakies and stuff while we're doing this, we miss it too. And, I know he's, I'm just grateful that he's pain-free at this point, and hopefully partying in heaven. So. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you again for all these kind words. And I know we have a couple newbies in the room, and we don't usually start off our live broadcasts like this. But, a lot of people who have been with us for a while have known that, we've been going through something with our dog. So we appreciate the love. We thank you for the time to allow us to kind of heal and just, deal with it privately. So we are so happy to be back. And, he would have wanted us to continue journaling. And, my heart goes out to everyone. It looks like a lot of people in the room have also dealt with this situation, and it is always heartbreaking and always a difficult decision. But again, we greatly appreciate the love and support, and sending all the love and support to you guys. One wonderful thing Alex did during this process was create a program on our website, and I think it's one of the featured ones right now. What is it called? Do you want to share about that?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for reminding me. So we created a program called Loving Them Through Goodbye, and it's specifically about pet grief. And we passed that through our mental health advisory board. So we had actual licensed therapists, get eyes on the prompts and make sure that that it's actually helpful. You know how important that is to us. And obviously it's not going to bring him back, but I wanted to make that program free just because, hey, look, hopefully his suffering and his journey was not for nothing. I know it wasn't for nothing because of how much I feel in my heart, but I'm so excited that we have a platform like this to kind of transmute things like that, these difficult experiences, into things that, look, we're all here to share the human experience. I mean, we're digging deep into our own personal journeys, and then, to have the courage to come and bring that out into the real world with actual human beings. Like, I know you guys aren't robots, AI generated garbage. Like, most of the internet is today. And I'm hoping that this can be a powerful way, for us to, I mean, even outside of that program, like what this has kind of showed me is how special this practice is, that we can take self-reflection. And it's not always easy. Like some of the journal entries that I've made over the past couple of weeks have been some of the hardest, and I've resisted my journal a lot, but the ones that I'm resisting the most are the ones that I most needed. And it's been just, I mean, to have reflective writing there for me during this process has been amazing. So whether you're new to journaling, or it's something that's been in your toolbox, like I just, like, obviously we love it. And I think that there's, we're just tip the iceberg at like what can be done with all of this stuff, right? Like we all know it's powerful to put pen to paper, but like bringing it into community and like having focus and having, actual people, who are professionals with what's going on psychologically, like we're starting to dig into something really special. And so, even though it's painful, I'm really happy that, we have something that can, hopefully help make that journey easier on other people who are going through it. And I know there are, and I know there are people probably on this chat right now who are dealing with their own battles and stuff like that. And so, we've all got our own journeys here, and I'm just so grateful that you guys show up every week to share that journey with us.
And I just have to say, I strongly encourage, despite what you're going through, like if there's something really, hard going on, check Journal Party, look into, we have so many programs, and we have, Alex has written so many incredible programs dealing with all sorts of things. And I just know, like, when things are especially tough between the therapy and whatnot, journaling is also a great tool to use alongside. So yeah, well, thank you. And again, thank you so much for all these kind words. Greatly appreciate it. Tonight's program, we were going to do it a couple weeks ago. Summer is I know a lot of us kind of judge it by like, are the kids in school or not, but the summer solstice is coming up, and that's the first official day of summer, and it's the longest day of the year, so the longest time the sun is out. And there's all sorts of incredible, events around the world and cultures that celebrate that. And I was kind of looking into them, and I just thought it would be so cool at some point in time to go somewhere. And I know in Scandinavia they do like the is it called the maypole? No, what is it called? Where they walk around and
the Renaissance Festival.
Well, yes, but the real life version of that. We got some people who are saying kids are still in school. Interesting. Okay, I thought everyone was out by, but yeah, it is different everywhere. So anyways, I just know that I tend to let my summers pass me by, and I look back and think like, oh wow, I didn't accomplish all that much. I didn't really do anything. I didn't set any intentions at the beginning of summer. And I wanted this summer to be a little bit different. I also don't love heat. And so sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't like summer. And it's like, you know what? No, I need to change my attitude. I need to think about things a little bit differently. And I just hope this kind of sets us all up for a really enjoyable summer. And also, let's accomplish some goals. So we will get started, and I will start us off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, everyone, get your pens, your notebooks ready. Hopefully you got a beverage or a snack if you're so inclined. And let's get this party started.
Okay. Seasonal check-in. How are you feeling mentally, physically, and spiritually as summer begins? What thoughts, emotions, or experiences have been most present for you lately?
Ideal summer. Describe the kind of summer you want to create for yourself. Consider how you want to feel, what you want to experience, and what memories you hope to make.
Goal setting. Reflect on the person you are becoming and the life you want to cultivate. What summer goals support that vision? Consider things like personal growth, mental and physical well-being, creativity, and experiences you long for.
Okay. Goal support. What daily or weekly habits can help support your summer goals? Reflect on routines, boundaries, and accountability practices that will help you stay consistent.
All right, moments into memory. What moments do you want to be intentional about remembering this summer? Think about the people you want to spend time with, the places you want to visit, and the traditions you want to implement.
All right.
Good job, everyone.
Get a
Awesome.
little ticker off here.
Yeah, I hope everyone did well with that. And I see everyone's got a lot going on. Oh, I don't want to.
Doing stuff.
Yeah, sorry. He's
Down here.
clicking buttons and I don't like it. Okay, perfect. So anyways, boy, Alex, how did you do with that? Why don't you go ahead and share some of
Oh,
your
thank you.
findings?
I did pretty well. You know, my whole world has just been like transformed. You know, we obviously talked at the top of this about a major life shift and change for us, and I think you know, one of the things that has just been on my mind lately is how much like a major event like losing a loved one that you love dearly really puts things into perspective. And you know, that perspective has been there actually for a while, because we've been fighting this battle for like 7-8 months. That said, like, you know, it all kind of when it all, you know, goes down, when it's all happening, like I mean, just it felt like a really powerful reshuffling internally about, you know, what I felt like I wanted to you know, give my attention to, and what I wanted to you know, spend my time like applying myself toward. And for those of you who've been around for a long time, you know, I'm like a bit of a workaholic, and you know, I'm like super productivity focused and stuff like that, which, you know, that'll always probably be a part of me in some way. That's pretty deeply wired. But I think like what has sort of surfaced for me lately is just how important the love is in our lives, and specifically the love and connection and you know, relationship with friends, with family. You know, we had been basically trying to flee LA up until this, and you know, I think it's interesting because like as things started to get difficult, all I wanted to do was be around the support of friends and family. And so, you know, we had been traveling down the coast, but we, you know, returned. We're back in Los Angeles, and I mean, you know, we saw your mom today, and like that was like healing. Like even just one hug from somebody that you really love or care about is super powerful. And so a lot of like my goals, instead of like normally, like if I had done this session even, you know, a month ago, my goals would have been about like growth for Journal Party, like how many people are we getting in, how many new features can I program, and you know, how many new programs can we write, and you know, like those will be there. I think like the funny thing is like I show up for that no matter what. Like that's just part of it. But like now my focus is, all right, like I mentioned earlier, we, you know, Bowie was a vessel for us to pour our love into and share joy. And I've, through journaling, discovered that shared joy is like one of my core values. And so now that vessel is gone, and you know, it leaves a big Bowie shaped hole in our lives, but it's also maybe an opportunity for us to rediscover you know, how we connect in relationship, and you know, find other ways, new ways for us to share joy. And another thing that was kind of, you know, coming up for me in this whole thing is, I mean, we got married a little over a year ago, and it was a beautiful wedding and beautiful honeymoon. But like the second we got back from our honeymoon, like the wind was knocked out of our sails with, you know, house stuff, with Bowie stuff, the dog, you know, the cancer stuff, and you know, it was overwhelming. It was a lot. And you know, now that it was that was like its own journey for me of like letting go of like trying to control everything. And now that some of these things have materialized and processed, and some of the dust has settled, it's, you know, it's kind of like having a blank slate, like a blank journal page, and you know, we get to write the future that we want to have together. And so a lot of my goals were very much focused on like, how I can be more present in our relationship. Like, what are things that we can do together to lay firm foundations that we're excited to build upon in this young marriage of ours. So that's, all stuff that I'm really excited about. We were talking about maybe taking a trip, doing like a little vacation or something like that. And so, I'm hopeful that we'll create some memories in that process. And I mean, the other part is like, all right, like, even though we were looking for a new home everywhere but Los Angeles, I think we kind of settled last night that, okay, maybe we just need a different part of Los Angeles. Maybe we just need a different scenery, but like, I don't want to lose access to our friends and family, especially seeing how important they are to us. So maybe, one of my goals also is, to establish ourselves and figure out what that dream home looks like for us here. So lots of exciting things on the horizon. Obviously, we're in a super tender spot right now, but like, gosh, when life really shows up, like sometimes it can be incredibly painful, but at the same time, like I think it's so powerful how like just the BS, like the head garbage that you have going on, like if you give yourself space to create some awareness and some presence around it, it can really put things into perspective and create opportunities for you to like really get what you actually want. Like, I was talking about like the kind of goals that I would have written before. And it's like, yeah, I really want Journal Party to do well. I really want it to, have a lot of members and all that stuff. But like, what I really want is this shared joy, this connection, like these, there's like a deeper quality, and I think it has a lot to do with like whatever your core values actually are. And they usually don't have very much to do with like material stuff. And so it was just interesting how kind of the quality of the goals that I was writing down has changed, because I'm a goal setter. I write them down every single day, and this looks way different than what I write every day. So cool program.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Awesome. Thanks. Very interesting. Just now, I realized that in my journal, I have also a bunch of notes regarding our dog, and we were trying to keep track of things that were going on during his journey, just so we could, relay that to doctors and stuff. So, it's interesting. I was really pumped about this like whole program. And then of course, the reality sometimes sets in. So I apologize. I was like ready to go. And then I glanced over and I was like, oh, those are my notes about, my dog. I would say, especially again with grieving and whatnot, I am primarily exhausted mentally, physically, spiritually. But, I think through this whole experience that we've had recently, again, like Alex said, it really just highlights like, how incredible it is to be surrounded by friends and family. And it's, just there's, in addition to the grieving, there's just so much love and gratitude that comes with this journey. And so, there is part of me that is actually very excited about this upcoming summer. And like I said, years past, I've just kind of let it go by and let it go to waste essentially. So, it was just interesting. And, the majority of my goals, I do have some in terms of, physical stuff that I would like to work on and just getting more energized and not feeling so exhausted all the time. I noticed, we'll go through, but I noticed some, Jessica mentioned perimenopause, which Alex is like, what are you talking about? You don't have that. And I'm like, Alex, you don't even understand what it is. But and to be fair, it's not something that us as like women have like really known. Of course, we know about menopause, but we didn't know that there was like this whole other chapter. And there's been certain things where, I saw Gabby mention like a hot flash. I was like, I've been doing that too. And I've been like, I'll walk in a room and I'll be sweltering and I'll be like, do you feel that? Like, this is insane. So there's just some things that, my yearly physical this summer, I'd like to be like, hey, help me out with this and just kind of get on a better track with all of that. But the one thing I did write was that I want to have a summer of love, and I want to again, embrace the relationships in my life. And I think, between having a dog and being out of town, we've just put a lot of energy elsewhere. And so I know I want to spend a lot more time with my niece, who is a teenager. She wants nothing to do with me. But I'm going to force her to spend time with me and force her to love and appreciate Aunt Alex. So those are just kind of like my big things. And I see we've got some good conversations. We're going to go back just a tad, but Alex, honey, you got to do this part.
Also, I realize, there might be some newbies on here. I think we saw earlier on. So typically after we journal, we, share our insights. You never have to share what you write. But, I think that we've all found it's pretty powerful to, bring some of the insights that you get once you've gone and done some of this inner work and, bring it out and into this community, because we've got so many people from different walks of life with different sets of experience. And, oftentimes I learned so much more by just getting a different point of view or a different perspective, or just hearing what other people are sharing. It's super powerful. So again, you never have to share what you write. I think, your pages can be sacred still. But if you're new, that's what's happening right now. So do share with us in the chat if you feel so inclined. Let's see. We got Kathy said, mentally and emotionally overwhelmed with a new diagnosis in the family, physically determined to get out of the house more, spirituality, searching for strength in accessible nature spots. Well, I know you got that one nature spot. It's got to be warmed up by now. She uploaded a video into the group. It looked pretty sweet. But yeah, sorry to hear about the diagnosis. I mean, obviously, fur babies, humans, I know, people feel different ways about that, but, love and the potential to lose love or to lose anything, or to just have it be difficult. It's tough. It's tough. It's impossible to go through this human experience without forming certain attachments. And, I used to think maybe like the Buddhist way, like you let go of all of your attachments and you're free. But it's like, how are you supposed to do that with a loved one? Like, how am I supposed to detach from caring so deeply about someone? So, I'm really sorry to hear about that. And, Kathy, you've always been, so courageous and vulnerable and, with all of your shares and stuff. And so, once again, appreciate that. And, here you are, you show up week after week, and we're just always in awe of the presence that you bring to this and like the depth and the reality. And so, I hope everything, works well. You'll be in our our thoughts and prayers and stuff like that. And wishing you the best. But it sounds like sounds like the key to kind of handling this for you might be in some of the stuff that you put there, like physically determined to get out of the house more. I know that helped me. Like, I was kind of crashing out a little bit, and I was like, I stopped taking my daily walks, and I started doing that again. It's like, okay, it doesn't change certain things that you really want to change, but it's like, man, like it changes your state of being, and you're in a much better position to handle anything like that. And spirituality, searching for strength in accessible nature spots. Like, I mean, I was talking about getting perspective from folks in the group, but like getting perspective from nature is super powerful. It makes it so much easier to see how much bigger this whole thing is than like we allow it to be sometimes. And we're in this, you can't see it right now, but it's like a beautiful, like mountainy kind of like part of Los Angeles. It's like we're not in like normal Los Angeles.
Really used to seeing, it's beautiful and it's tranquil and it's bringing us a lot of internal peace. So that's amazing. Get out more, because I need to get out more. Like, it's so beneficial. And again, that was one of my biggest goals, was like, get moving, get outside. And we're sending all of our love to you.
Yeah. Jessica said, this is a summer of transition for my family. We are selling our house to get a beautiful house backing the Olympic National Park, which will hopefully lessen our stress levels.
Good for you. That's incredible. Yeah, we, again, we've been in LA. Our house is under construction. It's a total mess. And it just, I think there's something to be said for being closer to nature. And I know like our next step is to find a place that's a lot more tranquil. Again, just kind of like where we're at right now, where you look out and you see some nature, and it's just so calming. And so that sounds incredible. I know moving is a big to do, but good luck with that. And it looks like you have a lot of wonderful things to look forward to. So congrats on the new place, and good luck with everything.
This is the perimenopause.
Oh yeah,
you addressed that.
Yes.
Yeah, I will not speak on perimenopause because
Yeah.
I do not know anything about it.
Yes, but I see you, I feel you, and I'm learning more myself.
Maybe that can be my goal. I'll learn about it so that I stop making.
And maybe, ladies, I will do some more research, talk to my doctor, and make a program for us, because there are things that are happening that are like, what is this? You know, I don't really understand. I don't know. It's just know it sucks a lot. So I am just sending all the love because I feel you on that.
All right. Well, program inbound. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Gabby's in it with you.
Yep. Yeah. The heat is interesting. Those heat waves. I'll walk into a room and be like, Alex, like, oh my God, it's hot in here, right? Like, you know, aren't you like sweltering? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. I'm like, oh, okay.
I've got my own temperature regulation issues, but they're, yeah, definitely out of sync for sure. Jessica said, I feel like my summer is not going to be as glamorous this year since we are selling our house and moving in August. Yeah, well, I mean, look, as someone who's had a lot of these sorts of life things present themselves all at once, seemingly, and I'm also a control freak, right? Like there's a lot of things that I wanted to change and a lot of things that I wanted to control in all of this. And like, the reality is sometimes this stuff just shows up and, you know, you have to like show up for it. And eventually, like all things, you know, it will materialize, or it will come to pass. And, you know, then you'll be in a new, you know, you'll have a new blank page to work through. But, you know, I think, the other part of that is like just honoring what shows up in your experience. And, you know, I'm sorry if it won't be so glamorous, but maybe, you know, maybe you can find a couple of ways that you can kind of like, you know, preserve a little bit of that glamour as like a little treat for yourself, you know, as you go through this. Like even if, you know, life shows up and, you know, requires certain things from you, I do think like, I mean, you just wrote a whole program about like whimsy, right? And like, even in the midst of like some of the most difficult moments of our lives, like it is possible to find like just
these little glimmers of whimsy and
glimmers,
hope.
yeah.
Yes. We're using all the buzzwords.
All the buzzwords.
today.
Nice. Yeah. Well, and good luck.
Yes.
For sure. Geeky Witch says, Jessica, I'm in the same situation, although we're still prepping our house to get it on the market.
It is an overwhelming
All
process,
of us just
I
moving.
know.
We should make like a journal party commune and just be total hippies about it.
Thank you.
Alex is not down. Jessica, we prepped from March till middle of May to get it on the market.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, we know about that. Our house is in like we've been prepping ours for like basically a year at this point, because they came in with all sorts of construction projects that needed to happen from our neighbors and stuff. It's I feel for you.
Yeah, it can be very stressful, but you know, look at the bright side. Hopefully you're moving somewhere, you know, and it's going to be a positive change. So keep that in mind, because yes, I know the stress of it.
Kathy said, I want to do more artsy stuff, especially photography, do some arts and crafts stuff to go along with our outings.
That's
yeah.
awesome,
Oh
Kathy.
man. Yeah. Mixing creativity with nature is like, I'm surprised more people don't talk about that. Although I guess it's kind of built in, you know, people painting landscapes and stuff like that. But yeah, like get creative out there. I think that's awesome.
For you.
Jessica said, thank you for the time and the prompts. I wish healing for your loss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
And it's
that.
coming. I feel the healing. I mean, it's you know, it's a process, and I think, you know, look, our baby mattered, you know, and so it's this crazy thing where it's like the most excruciating and painful thing, but like, you know, I'll be damned if I won't experience the depth of that to honor that he was, you know, even with us for any of that, and what he meant to us. So yeah, appreciate the kind words. It's time to make dinner for the family.
Yes,
oh,
please
well,
do.
okay, so you probably already dipped.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica, awesome hanging with you, and yeah, hope you make something tasty. Kathy said, the biggest boundaries I'm implemented is saying no, making Sundays as my slow, relaxing day, and putting me first.
I love to hear that, Kathy. Good for you. You have to. And we're somewhat familiar with some of your kind of day-to-day things, and it sounds like you have your hands full, and so good for you for setting that boundary and making yourself a priority, because you deserve it and it is necessary for survival and success. So
self-care, baby.
Yep.
Kathy also said, I want to be more intentional in being my creative, whimsical self, more time to myself to find out who I am outside of being a mom and an advocate.
Good for you, Kathy. We fully support you.
Geeky Witch, perimenopause is no joke. I was hoping menopause would end some of that.
Oh, nope. It just transitions. It just goes from one right into the other. That's awesome. Thanks, Melissa. I didn't even for some reason, I kind of thought maybe it was like they were, spread out a little bit more, but it sounds like it's just one really beautiful journey. Yes. Journey. So yeah, I think I am going to look into this doing, I need to learn more about it, but doing a program.
Same. I feel so, I have no idea about this. I just learned
I'm going to educate him.
Yeah, apparently. Gina said, yes, Summer of Love sums it up. There you go.
Yes.
Kathy says, Geeky Witch, no menopause, didn't stop any of the perimenopause symptoms.
Okay.
As a newbie, my insight is the realization that I'm holding so much in my head and body. Well, what do they say? The body keeps the
body
score?
Keeps score. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have read that book, but it is very powerful. And it really, it's so funny. The other day I was in so much physical pain, and I've dealt with chronic pain issues my whole life. And a lot of it is tied to emotions and, my mental state. And, I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't been working out. I haven't been why is my body hurt so much? And it's like, we hold on to everything and it gets stored in our body. And so, I just invite you to, look into ways to release it and get it out. And, we have to talk through it. We have to deal with it firsthand to get it all the way out. But the Body Keeps Score is a very good book. And again, it really just explains everything. And, it's things we've always kind of known, but yeah, I'm glad you made that realization, because, now you can deal with it and work with it.
Another book I would recommend is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. It's another, there's a lot of books that kind of say the same thing, because I think, a lot of wisdom kind of points in the same direction. It's like a lot of our experience is just trying to feel okay. And, we've collected different, traumas, different wounds and things like that. And we start to, insist that the world be a certain way for us to be okay. And that's like fighting the ocean or something like that. I mean, it's unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it's just actually not that personal, but, it's easier said than done. It's hard. You feel these things, and the last thing you want to do is feel them. So there's a ton of resistance. So, that there's an art to it, allowing what is showing up in your experience to be there, but also not, allowing it doesn't mean that you have to grab onto it and hold onto it. The next step is letting it do what it's doing. I think, this stuff comes up so that it can be released. And on the other side of that is lightness and a little bit of freedom, hopefully. So yeah, check out Body Keeps the Score, Michael Singer. And also, Sedona method is basically a practice of doing that, right? Where I think, it almost sounds like a broken record when you hear their tapes and stuff, because it's could you let it go? Would you? When? And it's just but even just prompting yourself to do that kind of helps that energy move through. So there's a lot of different modalities for doing it. I do it often in the journal, just giving yourself some space to feel what you're feeling. And then I don't know if people who do morning pages, you probably notice after about 2 pages, some of that stuff, that head garbage or those difficult feelings, it's released. And then from there, you have a lot more space, a lot more lightness to be creative and to show up authentically in this world, as opposed to whatever your story is trying to insist or impose. So cool share.
Thank you.
Gabby said, more healing and getting my knee better. Yeah, well, good luck on that. Hope for speedy recovery. Get back to swimming and hopefully my next hand surgery. I have carpal tunnel. Oof.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
mom and sister both have carpal tunnel, and I do too.
We do too.
But it's it can be very painful, and it's I haven't had to have the surgery, but when I used to do photography, and that really, especially if I was doing like events or something, like it was hard to even like click the button. So I understand that. But yeah, do all your PT, your rehab, do everything everyone's telling you to do, and best of luck with all of that.
We really should speak to somebody who like knows about like ergonomics or like occupational therapy or something like that. Like, let me know if you guys think that would be useful. But I mean, we've been talking about having guests on these and stuff like that. So it's not just us yapping the whole time. But like, this isn't the first time people brought up carpal tunnel or having pain or cramps like when they're writing. And look, I love pen to paper journaling, but like, yeah, I've got carpal tunnel too. And I think maybe it would benefit us to get a little bit of guidance on like just how to make this a more comfortable process for all of us. And of course, outside of the hand stuff, Gabby, hope the healing is on its way to you, and with a speedy recovery. Get well soon. So yeah, just add some extra spice to them, sadly.
Oh, cool. Can't wait.
Shenda said, "Oh, geeky, I did Perry for several years. Menno was done in 2 years, and now finally have some HRT relief. All because I was too young to be going through. Love to all the pausal ladies." Okay, well, look, you guys get a little group going or something.
A little support group.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are support groups
Well,
out there.
I mean, look, I love that. Like, I wouldn't have guessed this would have been a topic tonight, but like,
Yeah.
isn't it could that like there's support and love around this here? Like, I love it.
And validation, which
Yeah.
always feels really good, because you feel like you're solo sometimes. There's beauty in all that. There absolutely is. Well said, Gina.
Kathy says, it sucks being a control freak sometimes, Alex. I'm learning how much in life some things are just out of my control, but I'm fighting it every way possible. Yeah, there's a reason there's so many control-focused programs on here, right?
They're all personally utilized.
And my therapist is just constantly like, and this is because, and I'm like, I need to control everything. But yeah,
I like this new therapist.
she's great. Well, I mean, look, though, the irony is like letting go of control often produces the results that you were trying to manipulate for yourself, or something better. But at the very least, the freedom from needing to control everything is really powerful as well. So yeah, I think for me, what's been helpful is realizing that I would rather be free from caring about these things so deeply than feeling like I needed to control them, or have that responsibility, which is crazy to put on anybody to try to control the world. Gabby says, I am taking a watercolor class twice a week.
That's awesome, Gabby. I did put as one of my goals to take a class. I wrote down like a painting class or something, but I would love to get into that. So good for you. That sounds amazing. And I don't know about you, but like painting is just so, meditative and calming, and it's one of the few things I can do to like truly be mindful, because that's literally all I'm focused on.
You definitely got to get back into painting.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when you were doing that every night. Like,
yeah, it was very
you
peaceful.
were-
I know. I was feeling better, all the things.
Yeah.
So thank you for the encouragement.
Geeky
Thank
says,
you.
sorry, Alex. I love my acrylics and have taken classes on and off. Cool.
Awesome. Yes.
You guys have to add these books on the Journal Party site so we can remember to get them to read. That's a good idea.
That's
Here,
a
hold
good
this.
idea.
Let me write down
It's just,
here.
that is a really great idea, Kathy.
Yeah, reading list. Or
Yeah. Let's definitely do the Body Keep score. That's a big one for sure.
Cool. Good suggestion.
Yes.
Party on. All right. Gina says, I have some experience with chronic illness and working with the book, The Body Keeps the Score, and various other modalities, there you go, to heal from lupus. tough. I'd love to be a guest on your show if you'll call. Yeah, well, hey, send me an email, alex@journalparty.com. Let me know what you have in mind, like what, share a little bit about the experience, and maybe we can put something together. I think it's so powerful, like I already shared, to share some different perspectives from this little self-reflective collective, as I like to call it. But yeah, for sure, send me an email. Kathy says, my therapist is saying the same to me, LOL. My need for control is a trauma response, and I'm healing that part of me.
Good. I love this.
What an affirmation.
Yeah.
Power to you. You were saying?
Oh, no, I love to see that you're healing. That's
yeah. +1. Gabby said, I have one good that I can use. Okay.
awesome.
Well, let us know.
Well, yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we're at the end of the chat. We've got a few of you hanging around still. And
We always appreciate you guys sticking it out
the
with
long
us.
haulers. Folks, I missed you all. And, thank you again for, giving us some space to kind of handle, heal, and process through, what we've been going through. We miss our boy dearly. And, you know what? Like, I'm grateful that I miss him so much. I'm grateful that he was, that he was such a force and such a presence in my life. And what a teacher. Isn't it amazing that, he was 6, right? And what an amazing thing to be alive for just 6 short years, not say a word, yet teach us so much. What a beautiful life, what a beautiful soul. And I'm gonna miss him so much, but life goes on. We're all still here on this rock spinning in outer space. And isn't it just incredible that, like, you can feel so much and it can feel so intense, even like when stuff's getting so overwhelming, like it can be so huge, and then, like, what's that Carl Sagan thing, it's just all happening on that little blue dot out in the middle of nowhere in outer space. And it's like, what a crazy just thing to think about. And so what a wonderful mystery, and I'm just so grateful that we get to share it with all of you week after week. So thank you for being here and for doing this work, and let us know what you want to be journaling about in the future. I don't know that you have the next one planned yet, do you? No. Okay, so stay tuned.
I'm still grieving. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm taking my time. I'm taking the time I need. So no, I have not.
Well,
but we'll have a great program for next week.
Yeah, we'll let you know. And definitely, I saw some people championing the challenge. If you haven't taken the challenge, you want to be doing journaling a little bit more, we've got the 21-day challenge back in effect. You can find that on the website under the program section, under the journey tab, or you'll probably see ads of my face in Nahal. I don't think she was here tonight, but and if you have taken that challenge and you found it helpful, please share your testimonials with us. Help us get more people into this work. I mean, my first mission and goal with this whole thing was to get 1 million people to journal. I think if we had 1 million people doing what we do, not to toot our own horns too much, but it's I think it's special that you're willing to go deep, go within, create some self-awareness, and show up in the world as like a good human. Like, I think that's like there needs to be more of this going on today. So help us out. We appreciate it. Please invite people to this party, and please keep showing up, and we promise that we will. So have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your week, and as always,
Party on.